now the main event matchup of the evening, the final contest, the PWG World Championship title match between Roderick Strong, the challenger, and American Dragon Bryan Danielson, the champion. These two men are no strangers to one another, and these two men most likely would have met in the 2007 Battle of Los Angeles tournament somewhere down the road. But of course, Bryan Danielson's fractured orbital socket kept him out of the tournament, forced him to take a month off to recuperate, and now he is back, and he insists that he is in top form, and he is ready to compete and ready to defend the PWG World Championship around the world. But starting here in Southern California, in Van Nuys, in the Armory, against Roderick Strong. Of course, if Bryan Danielson does go on to defeat Roderick Strong here tonight in the Armory, he will go on to Europe, to Paris, France, to defend the title against Nigel McGuinness. Then in Portsmouth, England, against Martin Stone, the representative of IPW Wrestling UK and International Pro Wrestling UK, I should say, IPW UK. And then in Germany, the rematch for the PWG World Championship in Essen at the Music Palette. El Generico will challenge PWG World Champion. If it's Bryan Danielson, it will be Bryan Danielson. If it's Roderick Strong, it will be Roderick Strong. But El Generico will get his rematch for the PWG World Championship in Germany. But right now, Roderick Strong and American Dragon Bryan Danielson are going at it in the ring, and this is going to be, I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is going to be a technically fought, but hard-hitting encounter between these two men. And as we see, neither man wanted to give up an inch as Rick Knox forced to separate them two. As Bryan Danielson, I'd say got the worst of that exchange, but not to any perceptible harm to himself. It just happened to be that Roderick Strong was on the offensive there. Bryan Danielson backed into the ropes, and then we see both men trying to sweep each other's leg out, and Bryan Danielson grinding his head into the face of Roderick Strong, pins his shoulders to the mat, only getting a one count as Roderick Strong rolls up, crisscrossing the arms of Bryan Danielson, sweeping out the leg, covers with the lateral thrust, only getting a one count. And there we see Roderick Strong trying to pin down one foot of Bryan Danielson as he's grabbing at the other foot. And now Bryan Danielson, the grapevine swings through, grabs the leg of Roderick Strong, had him in a knee bar, but Roderick Strong very wisely made it over to the bottom rope. And Bryan Danielson did a bit of a change in attire. This is the first time, I believe, in a very, very long time, I've seen him use amateur-style wrestling shoes and shin guards. And Bryan Danielson, of course, usually favors the traditional wrestling boots in that burgundy color. But Danielson instead going with the shin guards, perhaps finding that the kick pads provide a little more protection for his shins, for his feet, for his ankle, because he does like to fire in those hard shots, those hard kicks to the midsection, and could be looking for any added protection that those wrestling boots may not provide. But Roderick Strong not caring to examine the footwear choices of the PWG World Champion, instead making his way over to the bottom rope. Bryan Danielson's got Roderick Strong hooked up as Rick Knox gave him the 5 count, and Bryan Danielson very, very reluctantly breaking up the submission hold. But Roderick Strong now seems to be at the disadvantage in this match, as Bryan Danielson using his technical expertise to great effect thus far. But Roderick Strong is exactly that, using his power advantage, however slight, it is an advantage over Bryan Danielson. He's got him in a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, then muscles him back. Now Danielson in the bridge, as Roderick Strong putting the entirety of his body weight onto Bryan Danielson's body. Bryan Danielson, what an impressive display, powers up Roderick Strong, shoving him off of him, and then brings him into the corner. Rick Knox giving him the 5 count, and Bryan Danielson the headbutt for good measure. A parting shot from the PWG World Champion onto the challenger. Back into the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, and there we see the first of what is probably going to be many kicks from Bryan Danielson, the well-padded legs of Bryan Danielson. as he is just keeping the distance from Roderick Strong. Strong back to Danielson into the corner. Danielson is backed in by Roderick Strong. There we see those chops. The crowd has come to love, and the wrestlers have come to fear those chops. Oh, Roderick Strong, known worldwide for those chops, and you can already see the redness starting to show on the chest of Bryan Danielson as Danielson swept out the leg of Roderick Strong to prevent any more chops from finding their mark on the chest of the world champion. Now, with the leg, almost like a reverse triangle choke, Roderick Strong had locked in, but Bryan Danielson able to work his way out of it, and now he's got Roderick Strong in for the Romero special, the surfboard, and now Roderick Strong is trying anything he can to work his way out of it, but Bryan Danielson building up a full head of steam, trying to go back with Roderick Strong, concentrating his body weight, but that did not prevent him from getting his knees busted by Bryan Danielson. Danielson standing on the knees and then just jumping up and down, driving the kneecaps of Roderick Strong and Patella both patellas into the ring canvas. And there we see those kicks to the chest, the midsection, and now the chin of Roderick Strong by Bryan Danielson. And that's exactly what I was talking about, is Danielson placing his boot across the throat of Roderick Strong, using all of that 5 count to his advantage. They're telling Rick Knox exactly how many seconds he has to break the hold, but Roderick Strong back up to his feet, chopping the already reddened chest of Bryan Danielson. His chest is going, I would say, he's probably going to match his ring trunks by the end of this match, as there we see Roderick Strong rolls to his back as Bryan Danielson going for another submission hold, and now he's got him in, goes for almost like the trailer hitch, but pushed himself off of Roderick Strong's knees, and just cranking that, I believe it was his right ankle forward a little more to just add some extra strain on the MCL, the ACL, and the patella of Roderick Strong's knees. And this very well could be the story of this match. Roderick Strong, if he doesn't have a good vertical base, he doesn't have a good base for all of his power moves he likes to use, those backbreakers, those high-powered attacks, the tiger drivers. And if Bryan Danielson is able to take that away from him, he neutralizes a large portion of Roderick Strong's offense. And I mean, even the chop, you think about the way that Roderick Strong is transferring momentum from one leg to another when he's administering a chop. That is something that Bryan Danielson takes away as he neutralizes the legs of Roderick Strong. Now cranking forward and back at the same time on the knees of Roderick Strong. Bryan Danielson really punishing the challenger here in this match. Oh, now he's got the legs tied up of Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong with his shoulders to the mat, trying to stay out of a pinning predicament while trying to avoid any further damage to his knees. And now Bryan Danielson brings it back in a torturous display, just really wrenching on those knees of Roderick Strong, and not just concentrating on one leg, concentrating on both legs, just completely trying to disable the challenger here in this contest. Now brings him up, he's got the arm butterfly as Roderick Strong is just trapped in the center of the ring. Bryan Danielson can stay in this hold all day if he wanted to, and now he's got Roderick Strong twisted around, and he's pulling that arm up off the canvas. Oh my God, Roderick Strong being wrestled on the knees by Bryan Danielson. This is a gruesome display by the PWG World Champion, and that just goes to show you why he is the PWG World Champion. Bryan Danielson pleading ignorance, saying that he could not possibly disentangle himself from the legs of Roderick Strong, forcing Rick Knox to do it for him. Rick Knox tried to shove Bryan Danielson out of it, but Bryan Danielson kept his legs locked in, and Roderick Strong got probably about 10-15 extra seconds of punishment at the hands of not only Bryan Danielson, but at the hands of Rick Knox as well. And Roderick Strong, you can see, really trying to work out those kinks in his legs, and now the legs swept out from under Danielson as Roderick Strong brings him to the outside. A chop to the chest of Danielson. Roderick Strong limping and following the champion around the ringside area. Another chop. And you can see that chest of Danielson is just beat red. And Roderick Strong is really taking the fight to Bryan Danielson. Now rolls him back in the ring under the bottom rope, stomps to the back, and now Roderick Strong seems to be in control of this match. And the tides change very, very quickly as all Roderick Strong did was, oh, there we see that backbreaker, but how it affected the knee. We saw Scott Lost earlier on in the contest, or earlier on in the evening. He hit the back breaker on Davey Richardson. His knee gave out from under him. So I mean, that just goes to show you the tremendous amount of pressure put on the knees by doing executing a move like that. And Bryan Danielson weighs, I would say, probably 25, maybe 35 pounds more than Davey Richards, and just imagine 35 extra pounds crashing down on the knee of Roderick Strong, and we saw the knee give out from under him. Now he's trying to crucifix pinfall Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson blocking it, only getting a 2 count to Roderick Strong, and stomping Bryan Danielson in the small of the back. But you can see he can't put any pressure for an extended period of time on those knees of Roderick Strong can, of course, as he's just living after stomping Bryan Danielson. Now putting his boot across the throat of the PWG World Champion. Roderick Strong is going to do anything it takes to defeat Bryan Danielson here. I mean, he's trying. Not only is he going to win the. Oh, here we see Bryan Danielson again. The kick this time to the spine of Roderick Strong, but Roderick Strong fires back with a hard chop, a second hard chop, sending Danielson into the rope. Danielson reverses. Snapmares him through, and another boot to the spine of Roderick Strong. Bryan Danielson gasping for breath after those hard chops from Roderick Strong, but he still comes away with the advantage here. Now going for the cattle mutilation, trying to put this one away early, and I can't say I blame him, but Roderick Strong getting up to, trying to get up to all fours to block it. Bryan Danielson placing his forearm at the base of Roderick Strong's neck, and Roderick Strong makes his way over to the ropes as Bryan Danielson forced to break the hold by Rick Knox. But I mean, not only is this matchup, is Bryan Danielson just rubbing his forearms into the face of Roderick Strong. Not only is this matchup a chance for Roderick Strong to win the PWG World Championship, but it's also a chance for him to kind of make up for losing to Shima in the 2007 Battle of Los Angeles last month. He lost in the final round match. I mean, Shima was the only thing standing between Roderick Strong and victory in the tournament, and unfortunately for Roderick Strong, Shima was the one that put him away. He was the one that came away with the victory in the tournament. So I'm sure Roderick Strong would love to make up for losing the tournament by coming away with the PWG World Championship here tonight. But Bryan Danielson is going to do everything in his power to prevent that from happening as he's hitting Roderick Strong with a European uppercut on the outside. Now he's got the ear of Roderick Strong, and he uses that ear to pull Strong into the European uppercut again on the outside. And now Roderick Strong is just limping around the ringside area. And another European uppercut, as you can see that reddened chest of Roderick Strong, of Bryan Danielson at the hands of Roderick Strong, as they are now over by the sound booth, as Bryan Danielson placing his knee across the throat of Roderick Strong, and Rick Knox is trying to break it up, trying to tell him to keep it legal, to keep everything fair here. But Bryan Danielson is just taking the fight completely to Roderick Strong as he chops him in the chest. Roderick Strong fires back with a hard chop. Bryan Danielson, you can see his wide eyes, that look of shock. I mean, that is good as 1,000 Red Bulls, as 10,000 cups of coffee in the morning. A chop from Roderick Strong will wake you up like none other. As Bryan Danielson rolls him into the ring, 2 count only as Roderick Strong kicks out. Bryan Danielson, he's got him hooked in. Could be going for those brutal elbow shots we saw him use on Necker Butcher, a giant size annual 4. No, but instead he's got his arms behind his back. He's got Roderick Strong in 10 types of pain as he is just wrenching back on the neck and the spine and the shoulders and everything, as Roderick Strong, you can see just screaming out in pain as Bryan Danielson has him in Guantanamo Bay, the center of the ring, as he is just torturing him. And now Bryan Danielson finally breaks the grip as Roderick Strong gets his boot across the bottom rope. Bryan Danielson is just, he's putting a complete amount of pressure. Front chancery suplex, shades of Satoru Sayama, the great Tiger Mask, as Bryan Danielson just wrenching Roderick Strong over head over heels just by his neck, not only damaging the knees on the landing, but damaging the neck on the pullover. But Roderick Strong up to his feet before Danielson could get completely to the top. Clubs him on the back, clubs him once again, and now Roderick Strong going up to the top rope, could be going for a superplex. Will his knees support it? Will he be able to get up to his feet before Bryan Danielson, or will he be able to get up to his feet and bring Bryan Danielson up to his feet? But Bryan Danielson, those knuckles to the ribs of Roderick Strong, forcing him to break the suplex hold, and now with the headbutt knocks Roderick Strong into the ring, goes for the double drop kick, or excuse me, not double drop kick, diving drop kick, double boots to the chest of Roderick Strong, taking the challenger off of his feet, buying Bryan Danielson some time and creating some separation between these two men, and that has got to be the most important thing for Bryan Danielson right now. Separation between himself and Roderick Strong, buying himself a chance to recover, buying himself a chance to breathe, buying himself a chance to not be chopped in the chest by Roderick Strong. Now the European uppercuts again. Now the chops continue. Bryan Danielson, though, he has had enough of those chops as he rakes the eyes and gouges the nose of Roderick Strong. Kitchen sink sends Roderick Strong over the top. Jumping, John Tenta, a bit of a shout out to him, and now he's got him in the, goes for the triangle choke. Roderick Strong converts it into a pinning predicament, but now Roderick Strong powers him up and drops him down into a power bomb off to the side, almost like a Dr. Bomb style position. But actually, Dr. Bomb start on the side, not end on the side. But either way, Roderick Strong dropped him down, just lifted him up from the triangle choke position, and slammed the PWG World Champion down to the mat. And now Roderick Strong seems to have things in control. Goes for the backdrop suplex on the ring apron. Bryan Danielson drop kicks the challenger off the ring apron. Danielson, he's got Roderick Strong in position, getting a full head of steam, coming off the ropes. Oh no, he fakes him out, dives under, then he hits the running uppercut, the running European uppercut, sending Roderick Strong to the floor as Bryan Danielson just crashes into him at full force. Bryan Danielson is in control of this match, but Roderick Strong is doing everything he can to stay in it and doing an admirable job. This is Bryan Danielson's first title defense first title defense of the PWG World Championship, and Roderick Strong is he is as good of a challenger as anybody could have imagined, and this is a true testament of Bryan Danielson's ability if he comes away with the win here tonight in a successful defense of the PWG World Championship. But that's not to say that it's time to count Roderick Strong out yet. But he is a tremendous wrestler. He's, as we saw, along with Pac, the man that gravity forgot, won the PWG World Tag Team Championship at the DDT4 tournament earlier this year. So he is no slouch. But that it remains to be seen if that really translates to a singles wrestling victory here, and if that ability as a tag team wrestler translates to ability as a singles wrestler. And of course, we know Roderick Strong is no slouch, but is he as good in singles competition as Bryan Danielson? That is the question that will be answered here tonight, and that is the question Roderick Strong hopes to answer with an emphatic yes, and Bryan Danielson hopes to answer with an emphatic no. But there we see the power slam from Roderick Strong, only getting a 2 count on Bryan Danielson. Danielson kicking out, still in this match, still trying to answer that question of Roderick Strong with the backbreaker. You can see the grimace of pain, and now the gutbuster on Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson clutching his midsection, and Roderick Strong clutches his knee, hooks the leg, only a 2 count for Roderick Strong on Bryan Danielson. Roderick Strong trying to work out the kinks in those knees as Bryan Danielson is trying everything in his power to stay in this match, to maintain his grasp on the PWG World Championship. But if it continues at this pace for much longer, I don't think he'll be able to, especially when Roderick Strong is looking for the stronghold just like he is there. But Bryan Danielson twisting, and not, instead of pulling him into a pinning predicament, Bryan Danielson with that hard up kick catching Roderick Strong right on the side of the head. And now Bryan Danielson pulls himself up to his feet, and now he brings him down. He's got him hooked in. He's going for the cattle mutilation. He's got him locked in. Roderick Strong in the center of the ring in the cattle mutilation. This has won many a match for the PWG World Champion, American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and Roderick Strong knows it as he slips out of it. And now there we see those elbow shots to the side of the head. He is elbowing him, but Roderick Strong grabs onto that elbow and now rolls him through, and now picking him up. Roderick Strong is just brute force, picks him up into the gutbuster, but Bryan Danielson blocks it, and he hooks him into the cattle mutilation. Again, Roderick Strong going to the well once too often. The cattle mutilation. Roderick Strong is not giving up yet, but if it stays like this, it is only a matter of time as Bryan Danielson is wrenching on the arms, on the neck, and on the head of Roderick Strong. Rick Knox, the hand drops, only drops twice. Rick Knox thought it was over, but Roderick Strong still in the match as Bryan Danielson rolls him into a pinning predicament. 1, 2 count only as Roderick Strong rolls through. Rolling elbow from Bryan Danielson, and now German suplex with the range. 1, 2 count only as Roderick Strong kicks out. Oh my God, the action very, very fast. Very, very tough to call here in this match, and you couldn't ask for anything more from these two men in Bryan Danielson's inaugural PWG World Championship title defense. No matter who wins this match, the fans are the winners, and there we see Roderick Strong returning the upkick from earlier. This time, Bryan Danielson catches it on the side of the face, but Bryan Danielson with an upkick of his own, another upkick, and Bryan Danielson, that upkick of Roderick Strong may have caught him on that orbital socket, that one that was previously injured, and so that's something that Bryan Danielson has to be aware of. He knows Roderick Strong could end this match very quickly. I mean, just with an elbow, or a misplaced elbow. There we see another elbow drive Danielson all the way back to the corner, and Roderick Strong could be hoping to exploit that eye injury. Bryan Danielson, though, too fast for Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong catches him with an elbow. Danielson is dazed. The boot to the side of the head. Roderick Strong covers him. Hooks the leg. 1, 2 count only as Bryan Danielson able to kick out. Well, what damage was done to the face of Bryan Danielson by Roderick Strong? And you can see Danielson clutching the left side of his face. That is the side of the face that was injured and previously injured as he fractured orbital socket. Bryan Danielson, I believe he's 6 or 7 weeks out from the injury, and so that has got to be fresh in his mind to protect himself from that. After the backbreaker, Roderick Strong, he's got him in the stronghold in the center of the ring, and I mean maybe the orbital socket caused too much distraction for Bryan Danielson. He didn't have the stronghold in the center of his mind as Roderick Strong steps over, and he is directly over the small of Bryan Danielson's back as Roderick Strong is just cranking back on the back of Bryan Danielson. He's got those legs hooked in. Danielson trying to push himself up, but Roderick Strong, he's got the stronghold locked in, but Bryan Danielson makes his way over to the bottom rope to force the break. Roderick Strong, those boots to the small of the back, you can see not delivered with the full force that I think Roderick Strong would have liked. Those injured knees preventing it, and now goes for the stronghold again. Bryan Danielson rolls him up in a pinning predicament, only getting a 2 count. Danielson very slow to get up to his feet. Roderick Strong slow to get to his feet as well. Charges at Danielson. Danielson gets the boot up in the corner. Enziguri on by Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong. Jumping Diamond Guri. The front face kick catches Roderick Strong right between the eyes. Oh my God! He is stomping the face of Roderick Strong and now pulls him into the triangle choke. And Roderick Strong gives up. Who can blame him after Bryan Danielson holding onto the triangle choke for just a little longer, but just brutally stomping the face of Roderick Strong to come away with a successful defense. First defense of the PWG World Championship. Fans, I want to thank you for joining us tonight here from myself and Disco Machine, and we hope that